You guys see the title, you know why you're here. This next story is a true story. It should be used as an example of what are the possibilities when dating, visiting, or traveling around the world. Watch or listen to this while you're driving, cleaning, on the train, at the gym, or just getting things done. Grab yourself a drink or a snack. This is a story you don't want to miss. Stay until the end. This one is a banger. Here it goes. I'm Alex, mid-40s American, and someone who spent more time chasing a life in Thailand than I care to admit. I landed in Bangkok with a carry-on and a dream, thinking I cracked the code to paradise. Then, a year later, at least half the expats I met are gone, back to Ohio or wherever, tails between their legs. I've seen it play out too many times, and hell, I've come close to being one of them. Thailand's got a way of chewing up dreams and spitting folks out, and I want to talk about why. So, what sends people packing? 3 big culprits stick out from where I'm standing. First, failed relationships. Guy meets girl, thinks it's love, then boom, he's broke and she's gone. Second, running out of money. Turns out paradise isn't free and that nest egg shrinks fast. Third, just plain dumb decisions. Moves you'd never pull back home but somehow make sense after a few changs on the beach. I've watched buddies lose businesses, houses, even their sanity, all because they didn't see the traps coming. Me? I'm still here, but it hasn't been smooth. I've bounced between cities, visas, and bad ideas, trying to figure out what making it even means in a place like this. I first showed up in Thailand in my late 20s, wide-eyed, single, and ready to live the expat fantasy. Chiang Mai was my first stop. Cheap rent, mountain vibes, the works. I lasted 6 months before a visa screw-up and a drained bank account had me scrambling back to the States. Failure, round 1. A couple years later, I tried again. Phuket this time, thinking the beach would fix everything. Spoiler, it didn't. I blew through cash like it was Monopoly money, and by the time I hit 30, I was on a plane again, swearing I'd never come back. But I did, over and over. See, for me, and a lot of guys my age back then, success wasn't about stacking cash or building an empire. It was simpler. Don't leave. Stay in Thailand no matter what. I'd crash on a buddy's couch, eat 20 baht pad kra pao from a street cart, and call it a win as long as I wasn't booking a flight home. Money, who cared? I'd hustle odd jobs, teaching English, bartending, whatever kept me afloat. Success was waking up to roosters crowing, not some alarm clock in a cubicle back in the Midwest. Looking back, that mentality was nuts, but it made sense then. Thailand was this golden ticket, and failure was letting it slip through your fingers. I'd see dudes older than me, grizzled expats with wild stories, and think, that's the goal, just stick it out. But here's the kicker. Sticking it out isn't the same as making it work. I learned that the hard way, and it's why I'm still here now in my 40s, with a different take on the game. Those early days shaped me, sure, but they also showed me how thin the line is between staying and sinking. So what's failure in Thailand? Depends on who you ask, and when. Back when I first got here, it was black and white for us early expats. You failed if you had to leave. Didn't matter if you were broke, sleeping on a mattress in some dusty guest house, or living off instant noodles. As long as you stayed, you were winning. I knew a guy, Mike, who ran a bar in Pattaya. Place went bust in 2009, lost him everything, except his stubborn ass stayed. He'd laugh over a warm Leo and say, "Least I'm not shoveling snow in Buffalo." But failure's got layers. For some, it's business tanking. Mike's bar, or the dude I met in Bangkok who sank his savings into a gym that never opened. For others, it's personal. Marriages crumbling, Thai wives walking out with the house keys. I've seen both, and they sting different. Then there's the new crowd. Digital nomads, crypto bros, folks in their 20s showing up with laptops and big plans. To them, failure's not leaving. It's not making six figures remote or getting that YouTube channel to pop. I met a kid last year, 25, who bailed after his NFT hustle flopped. To him, Thailand was just a backdrop. Failure was the dream dying, not the departure. Point is, the goalposts have moved. My generation saw Thailand as the prize. Staying was the win, no matter how ugly it got. Now people roll in with ambition, build something, get rich, live large. Failure's less about geography and more about what you're chasing. Me? I've had my share of flops, business ideas that fizzled, relationships that crashed, but I'm still here, so by the old rules, I'm golden. By the new ones? That's a tougher call. Here's a trap I fell into hard, holiday mode. You land in Thailand and it's all sun, sand, and singa. Feels like a permanent vacation. I did it my first go-round in Phuket. Rented a condo near Patong, hit the beach daily, partied like I was 21. This is living, I tell myself, sipping a 50-baht beer, watching the sunset. Problem is that vibe's got an expiration date, usually when your bank account hits 0. I burned through 6 months savings in 3, and suddenly I'm Googling cheap flights to LAX. That's the holiday mode trap, living like Thailand's one big getaway. Back in the day, it was easier to stretch it out. Rent was dirt cheap, food was pennies, and a couple grand could float you for a year. I've got buddies who rode that wave in the 90s, coasting on pensions or bar gigs. But now, costs are up. Condos, visas, even street food ain't what it was. You can't just wing it on a shoestring anymore, not long term. Holiday mode's a fantasy, unless you've got cash flowing steady. The real kicker's the mindset shift. You roll in thinking every day's Saturday, sleep late, hit the bars, rinse, repeat. But that's not a life, it's a break. I watched a guy, Dave, try it in Hua Hin. Quit his job stateside, moved here to chill. 6 months later, he's selling his motorbike to pay rent, muttering about going back to Seattle. He couldn't flip the switch from tourist to resident. Me neither at first. I'd blow cash on jet skis instead of saving for a rainy season. Took me years to figure out Thailand's not a perpetual spring break. You've got to build something real, job, routine, whatever, or holiday mode will spit you out broke and sunburned. Thailand's a minefield for relationships and dumb calls. Trust me, I've stepped on both. Start with love. You're a foreigner, maybe lonely, and you meet someone, bar girl, Tinder date, whatever. Next thing you know, you're in love, building her a house in Asan. I knew a guy, Steve, who did exactly that. Dropped 50 grand on a place upcountry, thought it was his forever home. 2 years later, she's gone. The house is her family's, and he's back in Texas with nothing but a story. That's the classic. Guy thinks he's found a wife, but he's really funding a village. It's not just romance, though. Poor decisions pile up fast here. Take business. Back home, I'd never sink my savings into a sketchy deal without a lawyer and a spreadsheet. In Thailand, different story. I once threw cash at a friend's Sure Thing bar in Pattaya. Great spot, he said. Tourist gold mine. Didn't check the lease, didn't read the fine print. 3 months in, landlord jacks the rent, and we're done. Lost 10 grand and my pride. You see it all the time. Guys opening guest houses, dive shops, whatever, with no clue how Thailand works. Moves they'd never pull in, and the States suddenly seem genius after a few whiskeys on Sukhumvit. Why's that happen? Part optimism, part ignorance. You're riding the high of being here, so you trust too much. Partners, locals, your own gut. Steve trusted his girl. I trusted my buddy. Neither of us saw the cultural gap. Family ties run deep here, and business isn't as cut and dry as back home. I've learned to slow down, but those early flops? They're why so many pack it in. One bad relationship or bonehead move, and you're on a plane. cursing the day you landed. Here's a big one. Thai people live for today. I was raised to plan tomorrow. That clash has tripped me up more than once. You see it everywhere. Locals laughing, eating, chilling, no stress about next month. My pen rai, they say, don't worry, it'll work out. Me? I grew up with my dad drilling me on 401ks and save for a rainy day. First year here, I envied that laid-back vibe. I'd see vendors sling noodles all day, then kick back with a beer, no care in the world. I tried it, lived day to day, spent what I had, felt free, until I didn't. Problem is that live for now thing doesn't age well for expats. Thailand's not handing out safety nets, no social security, no Medicare. You run out of cash, you're on your own. I hit that wall in my 30s, blew my stash, no plan, scrambling for rent. Meanwhile, my Thai neighbors got family to lean on. I've got a maxed out credit card. That's the rub. Locals have a network, kids, cousins, parents, us. We're solo and, today, catches up quick when the ATM's dry. I've seen expats adopt that mindset too hard. Guys my age who partied through their savings, thinking it'd last forever. One buddy, Mark, lived like a king in Chiang Mai for years. Motorbike, girls, the works. Now he's 50, broke, crashing at a cheap guest house, begging for loans. He went full my pen rai and forgot the future's real. I've swung the other way, started stashing cash, planning visas, thinking long term. It's not sexy, but it's why I'm still here. Thailand tempts you to ditch the calendar, but if you're not Thai, that clock's still ticking, whether you like it or not. Family's a whole different beast in Thailand, and it's sunk more expats than you think. Back in the States, family's a once-a-year call. Maybe Thanksgiving if you're feeling sentimental. Here, it's everything. Thai families stick tight. Parents, kids, cousins, random uncles, all in the mix. And if you're with a Thai partner, you're not just dating her, you're signing up for the clan. I learned that the hard way. Dated a girl in Bangkok once. Sweet, fun, no red flags. Then her mom's moving in, her brother needs a loan, and I'm like, wait, what? It's not a scam, it's culture. Thais expect you to chip in, especially if you're the farang with a fatter wallet. I've seen guys my age lose it over this. One friend, Paul, married a woman from Korat, built her folks a house, thinking it's a one-off gift. Next thing, her sister's family's there, livestock in the yard, and he's footing bills he never signed up for. He couldn't handle it. Packed up, left, done. Me, I get it now. Family's not optional here, it's the backbone. You either roll with it or you're out. That's the disconnect. We're raised on independence. My money's mine, my life's mine. In Thailand, it's collective. And if you don't adapt, you're toast. I've had to set boundaries, say no without burning bridges, but early on I just stew thinking, this isn't how it works. Took me years to see it's not about me, it's how they survive. Ignoring that's a fast track to frustration or failure. If you're marrying into it, or just living here long term, you've got to swallow that pill. Family's not a side dish, it's the main course. Success in Thailand's morphed since I got here. Early days, it was simple. Stay. Didn't matter if I was broke, crashing on a buddy's floor, or eating rice 3 times a day. Long as I wasn't on a Greyhound back to the States, I'd made it. That was the expat code in my 20s and 30s. Just hang on. I'd see old timers in dive bars, nursing beers, bragging about dodging winters back home. That was the win. You're here, they're not. But that's kid stuff now. I'm in my 40s and sticking around isn't enough anymore. Look at the newbies, laptop warriors, influencers, guys chasing passive income. Success to them is a PayPal balance, not a Visa stamp. I met a 28-year-old last month grinding a dropshipping gig in Krabi. He's not counting days survived, he's counting profits. Meantime, I've known guys my age who stayed but crashed, living in 3,000 baht rooms, scraping by, miserable. That's not winning, that's limbo. For me, success has grown up. It's financial stability, having enough to not sweat rent or a medical bill. It's adapting too, getting the family thing, learning some Thai, not just coasting as a farang. I used to think I'd made it because I hadn't left. Now I see it's deeper. Can I thrive here? Not just survive? I've got a small gig going, savings tucked away, a life that's not below my standards. That's the shift. Staying's the baseline, but real success is building something solid. The old me would have scoffed. The new me knows better. Thailand's not a trophy for showing up. It's a place to figure out what winning really means to you. I'm in my mid-40s now, still in Thailand, still kicking. I've dodged more bullets than I deserve. There was that time in Phuket when I nearly boarded a plane home, savings gone, tail between my legs. Or the Chiang Mai flop. Thought I'd crack the expat code, only to crash hard. But I stayed, learned, adapted. Thailand's taught me failure's not one big moment. It's a slow drip of bad calls, ignored warnings, and stubborn pride. It's also shown me success isn't static. It's a moving target, and I'm still aiming. Things have changed since I first landed. Back then it was cheap, wild, a free-for-all. You could scrape by on grit and a few bucks. Now it's tougher, costs are up, expectations are bigger. The old guard like me clung to just stay as the win, but the new wave's rewriting the rules. They're chasing stability, hustle, a life that's not just treading water. I've had to evolve too. Ditch the holiday mode dreams, plan a little, respect the family vibe. Staying's not enough if it means scraping by below what I'd accept back home. Success here's about balance now. Cash in the bank, roots in the culture, a life I'm not ashamed of. There's also the sacrifice of choosing Thailand over staying with the ones you love. For me, it's my mother and father. I grew up really close with my mother. I sometimes regret not staying back to spend more time with her and the rest of my family. Out here, you're all alone, and the ones that truly love us, our parents, our siblings, and friends, are way back on the other side of the world. And if and when you make it back, they may not be around when you do. That's something to consider. That's my take anyway. I've failed plenty. Relationships, dumb deals, you name it. But I'm still standing wiser for it. Thailand's a beast. It'll test you, break you, or make you. What about you? What's failure look like from where you're sitting? Is it leaving, losing it all, or just not measuring up to your own bar? Drop it in the comments. I've spilled my guts, now I want your take on the matter. This place keeps shifting, and I'm curious what it means to you. Let's hear it. Make sure to check out my previous video right over here. And send over a story of your own that you'd like to be featured in the next video. Subscribe, share, like, and comment. My name's Roberto, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.